With a man behind his eyes, I sing the epitaph for an unnamed king, carved in this tombstone of the lost pieces of me. How far is the distance between you?
Hello, I'm Kigan. For some reason I always get the dead battery, so I might be cut off, but I'll start back again. Matthias wanted me to finish up the article he was reading and also mention about the poem that he read, which I guess I'll reread it because he forgot to mention what was written after it. So I'm going to reread it. 2017, our time is now. Most people fear what they don't understand. A brand new order was always our plan, to take back the earth and clean up the mess. Starting now, no voice shall be suppressed. It's time to stand up and answer your calling. When we rise up together, the archons start falling. Together we are one family on earth. This is our time, let's prepare for the birth. Now, he wanted to read after this what we wrote. It's called What They Do, which is to try to scare people. The phrase New World Order is a scare tactic. The New World Order and the Old World Order are the same draconian system. The true order of Earth is loving kindness and peace for all. We continue to incarnate to bring peace to Earth. When we incarnate, we forget why we returned. We get caught up in our own life, our own affairs, until we choose to connect with our higher consciousness. And that's what they don't want people to do. You have a higher self up there. You are the avatar of your higher self. And you got to search, they want you to search for God on the outside when you should search for it within, because you are your higher self and you are a fragment of the true Most High. The true Most High makes up all of us. And like I am a puppet, and I'm a fragment of my own master's creations. I'm one of many good creations, and like you and everyone else, everybody is one of many wonderful creations. So it's kind of like characters of your higher self. Someone who came, who was already lived life and incarnated again as you, and you can contact them in your mind, meditation, and don't be afraid, because you have a higher self, and there's so much more to discover, and you have endless possibilities. You don't have to be defined by what you do, where you work. That's the system. You don't even have to be defined by your name. You don't have to keep your name. Names are just that. It doesn't define who you are or who you want to become. You can be whoever you want to be. Until the darker ball tries to play on fear so they can establish total control of Earth, which will never happen as long as we have a citizen's militia. The darker ball loves to spread disinformation and lies to ignite anger and cause chaos. They are desperate to have a reason to put the citizens under martial law. Hopefully people will be smart enough not be violent and give the darker ball what they seek. The dark cabal is behind all religious sects to keep humanity divided for easy control. We shall rise up and declare that I am, and show them that we are not owned. Our birth certificate is just paper. Their money is just paper. Permits, licenses, and IDs are false security. You are who you are regardless, and should have a right to be recognized as such, just by your presence. The dark cabal loves to put people against one another to create endless war. It's time to stand up and demand true peace for all. So, birth certificate, all of that is methods of control. Marriage license, why do you need their permission to get married? It's ridiculous. It really is. Here's a good one. I don't want to go after that. It's called Independent Conscious Awareness. I am my own immortal soul. I don't belong to them. Independent Conscious Awareness. I am my own immortal soul. I don't belong to them. Our immortal souls are the source of creation, and the Most High is made up of them. Just because you called my name doesn't mean that name is mine. A name is just a title. The soul is not defined. So go ahead and sell my name. Just know that I don't care. I already know I am that I am. My consciousness is aware. Which is a great empowering poem to say, I own my mind and I am not. I say I am above mind control. And they don't have us. So I wanted to recommend a really great book we're working on now about the ecology, the Dimensional Ecology of the Omniverse by Alfred Lambremont Webre. It's a really great book. I think you should get it. We're working on it now. It talks about the universe is actually the multiverse of parallel universes, and the Omniverse is that and higher spiritual dimensions. So your higher self, I think, is in the Omniverse, and you're the physical manifestation, representation of your higher self. So now that when you look and realize that you should treat others as you want to be treated, you might have more respect, knowing that you have respect for that person's higher self. And also you want to represent your higher self nicely. You don't want to be a bad representation of your higher self and disappoint your higher self, because they're hoping that you will be interested and want to know why you're here, and want to just ask, look at the night sky, the stars. I believe that's our a map of past lives, and they're there. You are an immortal soul. The body changes, different look, but what's on the inside does not die. And people still have a hard time with death but that's just physical. It's just a physical change of mind, basically. And it's still difficult to deal with. I know. We lost our good friend Jasper in October, and that was really tough. He was a funny cat, and but he was ready to go. He was very ill, and he wanted to expand his consciousness, and hopefully we inspired him to want to climb higher in consciousness, and hope that wherever he is, he's doing well. And maybe one day, in a certain form or somehow, we will see him again. And we definitely miss him. He was a good boy. We now have Annie, who's on our side for the feminine, and that would be who the next segment is going to be about the sacred feminine and the worst nightmare of the Satanist, the female. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back to the article. I'll finish it up. It says, according to April 14th, 2014 Aspel survey in the West, 42 versus 34% of people feel pessimistic about the future despite objective scientific reality that humanity is on a positive timeline. China, India, Brazil, Turkey, and Russia are more optimistic than pessimistic for the young, but all other countries are more likely to think things will be worse rather than better. Yet time science demonstrates that our civilization is traveling on a positive timeline within our time-space hologram, and time cosmology analysis demonstrates that unity consciousness, we are one, is the dominant universal consciousness frequency broadcast as of December 21st, 2012, to singularity, interdimensional portal at the core of the specific universe in which we are based. Catastrophic duality consciousness, Ivan Yulu's, fostered by these matrix elites, negative dimensional entities, and matrix institutions can no longer control and thrive on our current positive timeline. As a matter of density, dimensional frequency, and time science, duality consciousness is service to self. This is really wonderful, because it means we have a fighting chance to fix what's wrong. You cannot survive in our new universe consciousness density frequencies because the iron you lose is a lower density frequency. The lighter density is better and higher consciousness, and the pigs want to hold people back from achieving the higher consciousness. It is now time for the positive timeline to be acknowledged as a scientific reality, and for our individual and collective to transform consciously as a critical mass of ethical humans awaken to the reality of the positive timeline. Positive timeline in assertion with unity. Positive timeline in synergy with unity consciousness. If you resonate with the positive timeline and synergy with unity consciousness, you are encouraged to share these insights with others privately and publicly, your family, friends, networks. Together we can build that critical mass of awakened humanity that acknowledges and collective shifts from being in a reality of positive timeline unity consciousness, we are one, as the new norm. All you have to do, and all we have to do, is change our minds, and the positive timeline follows as a matter of science. Because if you have a negative, pessimistic view, that reflects from you toward the atmosphere. And positive will reflect back like that. It's like light. You want to be in the light. Be positive and help people understand that you're on a positive timeline and these pigs are not going to get their way. Time, space, hologram, and timelines. One of the early key discoveries of time science is that our own universe of time, space, energy, and matter contains and is composed of time-space holograms, and may be considered itself a time-space hologram, created by a higher intelligence and composed of parallel timelines. Our universe includes a space-time hologram within which our Earth human civilization exists. That is an artificial environment created by a higher intelligence. The higher intelligence that created and maintains our universe, including the time-space hologram that we inhabit, is a spiritual dimension that itself is composed of God's source, the intelligent civilizations of souls that incarnate in the time-space hologram, and the intelligent civilization of spiritual beings. In simulations backup theory that universe is a hologram, a 10-dimensional theory of gravity makes the same predictions as standard quantum physics in fewer dimensions. Ron Cohen writes, at the black hole, Albert Einstein's theory of gravity apparently clashes with quantum physics, but that conflict could be solved if the universe were a holographic projection. The time-space hologram we inhabit as earthly humans is composed of multiple timelines. Time travel and teleportation are methods by which intelligent civilizations navigate the dimensional ecology of both the exopolitical dimensions, the multiverse, and the spiritual dimensions of the Omniverse. Teleportation consists of point-to-point movement across a single timeline. Time travel consists of movement across more than one timeline. And there's something called Project Pegasus which was Andrew Basiago was a whistleblower about this project, because the pigs do have the ability to time travel with Tesla equipment, and they didn't tell anybody about it, of course, but it's okay. See, it says here, replicable empirical studies show that at bodily death in the time-space hologram, a human soul has the option of teleporting into a dimension within the spiritual dimensions called the afterlife or interlife through a natural dimensional portal from the time-space hologram in the extra-political dimensions to the interlife in the spiritual dimensions. Teleportation and time travel in the space-time hologram can also occur with advanced technology. We now know from former chrononaut Andrew D. Basiago, a project whistleblower, that the U.S. Department of Defense, DARPA's Project Pegasus, had developed teleportation and time travel in the period 1969 to 72. Mr. Basiago has revealed that between 1969 and 1972, as a child participant in Project Pegasus, he both viewed past and future events through a device known as a chronovisor and teleported back and forth across the country in vortal tunnels opened in time-space via Tesla-based teleporters located at the Curtiss Wright Aeronautical Company facility in Woodridge, New Jersey, and at the Sandia National Laboratory in Sandia, New Mexico. And he even reported that he saw a copy of the 2005 book, Effects of Politics. And so these pigs that host these projects cheat because they can see what happens and try to avoid things that happen. So now the fact that they can do this, you know that elections and everything else are all rigged. Which, if you don't know that by now, I don't know what to say, because it's rigged and they know what's going to happen. None of this is just an innocent option to choose from, especially with the new 2016 nightmare election. That's going to be ridiculous, because if it's those two, then you know it's ridiculous. And I really hope that if that is the case, and it's Hillary Clinton versus Jeb Bush, I really hope nobody votes, because that's not even a competition. They're two war criminals. That's ridiculous. War criminals. They are. They're family. And I don't know what else to say if you don't believe me. But that's just a joke. And you know they're dying to get the worst of the worst in there, because of their rush before 2017. Because by 2017, I think that hopefully enough will awaken that things will start make some drastic changes around here, and hopefully, I mean, together we can get through anything if we have each other's back, and we will stand up against these criminals and defend what is ours. And I guess I better go because I'm running low on time. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next week.
How long before this